Go, page 35. So we left Shirley floundering around in a curtain, I think. And here we go. And then suddenly the curtain was whisked to one side and two hands protruding from familiar blue and grey sleeves closed in a clamping grip around her waist. The next moment she found herself planted firmly upon the lap of one of her passengers. It's going to be Wendy, isn't it? With two arms linked in a human safety belt around her waist and with a familiar peal of laughter ringing upon her ears. It's Wendy. Upon her ears is strange rather than in her ears, but never mind, because we got Wendy back. Shirley jerked her head round sharply, to see a laughing face framed in a vivid mass of unruly red hair, which was now crowned with a blue and grey forage cap. Forage cap. Wendy! Hooray, it's Wendy, she gasped. Wendy! And you've changed into uniform! The pleated suit of Afghan wool, of which Wendy had been so inordinately proud, was now lying discarded and crumpled on the floor. That's Wendy for you. One moment she's wearing her Afghan wool, and then she decides to work. She just throws it on the floor. The stilettos were her, weren't they? Throw on the stilettos, throw on the wool suit. There we are. You bet, chuckled Wendy. No South Pacific hurricane catches Wendy Morland all dolled up in pretty glad rags. Not sure what that's about or how that works as a sentence. And between you, me, and the proverbial gatepost, Shirley, there's going to be plenty of work upon this crate. Hooray! Finally, somebody's called it a crate, which I was hoping for, to occupy the full time of 4 galley slaves before we see clear blue skies again. I'll bet that at this very moment, Tony, your wonder boy of the flight deck, is nearly wearing out his tunic pocket, calling upon his teddy bear mascot to work overtime for us. That's the problem with this airline, isn't it? What's your protocol for safety for an emergency? Well, we've got a small teddy bear which we use as a mascot. This is still Wendy continuing. The party for Wendy is over. The party for Wendy is over, and I think that we're for it. Agreed, or is Wendy being windy? Shirley nodded her head. You'd have to, wouldn't you? Because what would you say? Is Wendy being windy? Well, no need to know. Shirley nodded her head. Outside the window, the menacing black clouds were being almost continually illuminated by stabbing flashes of forked lightning. I didn't breathe properly when doing that sentence. Agreed, Wendy, she answered soberly. Not very soberly, but soberly. I too think that we are for it. For it is in italics, that we are for it. I've never, repeat never, seen such lightning as this before. I like the never, repeat never. It really emphasises it. And I think I'm feeling quite a bit frightened. It's good to admit when you're frightened. I think that's a good thing to do. Oh, except here's Wendy's response. You frightened? Ha ha, joke over, chuckled. And then it's going to be Wendy, isn't it? It's when you admit that you're vulnerable to a friend or loved one and then they just laugh at you. That's not so great. But Wendy's back. Wendy's back. Hooray.